call to order.
Okay, I'm call the administration committee on March 16th to order at 11 a.m. Can you please take roll?
Sure. Alina,
Here.
Mark Smalley,
Here.
Mark Dalton,
Here.
Cheryl Adams,
Here.
and Shelley.
All right, and this portion of the agenda is for members of the public to comment on anything that's in jurisdiction of the district, but not on the agenda today. I can't see if we have anyone in the room. Looks like no.
We don't.
Okay. And we just have Garrett online. Mark has his hand raised. Go ahead, Mark. Dolson.
I have a request. I don't know whether it's possible to fulfill it, but I'm wondering if the order of the agenda can be arranged to put the Brown Act last, because I will have to leave before noon today.
I have no problem with that if no one else has any issues.
No problems. He's fine. No.
Oh, I guess
Thanks, I appreciate that.
And I will comment, having been through this training recently, last month, as part of the engineering committee meeting, it was effective, brief, and to the point. So I'm not expecting a lengthy one, if it's similar to
Nothing on
that.
this agenda should be too long.
And there's some reverb.
It's coming out of the,
Oh, okay.
It's right next to the microphone, so.
yeah, I'll move it away, yeah.
sorry, I didn't have the agenda up and I flipped the I missed the changes to the agenda. So we can move it to after the watershed education grants though.
Thanks.
Okay. I don't think it'll maybe you'll still be here. Okay, so we can move on to new business and that's introductions.
I think this is a carryover from the other committees. I think everybody on this committee has been, well, maybe Mark, you're new to this committee, right? But I don't know.
I am. I'm new to this committee.
Want to introduce yourself to everybody?
Sure. Cheryl. Hi, I'm Mark. I've been on the board 5 years now, mainly participating in the engineering committee. So
Welcome to the admin committee.
thank you. Thank you. Okay.
And we're missing Shelley too, which I think that's the one person you don't actually know.
I don't know Shelley either.
Okay. Well, hello again. Thank you for coming back to the admin and committee, both of you, and for Mark Smalley for joining us. I got to remember we have two Marks here. We got two Bobs on the boards and two Marks here, so I'll try to use last names. Okay. Well, any public comment? All right. Seeing none, we can move on to item B, which is the election of the committee chair for 2026. And so this has to be either Director Smalley or I, as we're both, members of the board. And so we'll be entertaining any nominations now.
I'd like to nominate you, Alina, for committee chair.
I'd like to second that.
All right. Do you have any public comment? Still no one. I gotta say it every time. All right. Can we please take a vote?
Are you okay with that?
That's fine. I should be in person hopefully from here on out. So it was just I was told not to get sick this week, so it was very important, so I didn't come in. So
Okay.
yeah, I'm fine with that.
Oh, Shelley Canton's online.
Oh,
Hi,
All right.
Hi.
Welcome.
thank you.
We were just talking about the committee chair and vice chair. Alina was the one for the committee chair, and we were just getting ready to pass a vote.
I agree. Thank you, Alina.
Okay.
thanks.
Ready to take
And
a roll call vote?
yeah, and since Shelly's address it's not on the agenda, correct?
No.
So then technically Shelly cannot vote, I believe.
Yeah, she'll be joining as a member of the public. You're right.
Okay. Just wanted to make sure. All right, ready?
All right. Elena Lane,
Yes.
Mark Smoley,
Yes.
Mark Dolson,
Yes.
Cheryl Adams.
Yes.
All right. It passes. You're the chair. Thank you.
Okay.
Do we have to vote for vice chair, or is that just
A
the
given.
by process of elimination?
The way I read the board policy manual, the chair has to be a member of the board. I think the policy manual is neutral as to the vice chair.
Okay.
But that's my interpretation of it. But what committee did a full-on scrub of the board policy manual last year and discussed it several times?
Kind of this one.
I know.
Kind of.
Right. I'm being facetious with my question. But if the rest of the committee wants it, yes, I could fill in.
I guess my thought process is if the chair has to be a member of the board and the chair isn't here, the vice chair would fill in, therefore the vice chair has to be a member of the board as well.
Okay.
And we've never even done vice chair in the past, so but we can. I move that Director Smalley is the vice chair.
A second.
All right, can we public comment? No one online. All right, we could take a roll call vote on that.
Okay. Elena Lane,
Yes.
Mark Smoley,
Yes.
Mark Dolphin,
Yes.
Cheryl Adams.
Yes.
All right. Thank you, Vice Chair.
All right, thanks, Mark.
Yeah, thank you, Mark.
All right, so we're skipping the Brown Act and we will move on to D, Watershed Educational Grant. And I think is Chris, are you taking that?
Janelle will be presenting.
Okay. Yay.
Yeah, so following the reestablishment of the Watershed Education Grant, which was approved at the October 25 meeting, we prepared the notice of funding availability to distribute to the public. So that was distributed on November 7th with our website announcing it, social media. The original deadline was December 19th, which was extended to January 23rd. And following that second deadline, we received 2 proposals. We gathered the materials, including the proposals, the scoring form, and the funding level selection form. And that was distributed to all the committee members for independent evaluation of the 2 proposals. And after we received those proposals back, we filled in the scoring form sheet, which is that Excel document. And based on the funding level recommendations by all the committee members, we recommended that the $2,500 be awarded to the Boulder Creek Elementary Native Plant Project. And all the materials are included, and we hope that it could be discussed by the committee members, and hopefully a recommendation could be made to the board for award of the Boulder Creek Elementary project. So with that, I'll leave it open for discussion.
Okay, Dolson, would you like to start us off with any comments, questions?
Gosh, thank you. I was impressed with the quality of the Boulder Creek proposal, and I'm happy to see it get this positive response.
All right. Cheryl?
I agree with Mark that I was happy with the BCE proposal. Just going through it, both proposals, you know, I'm always looking for continuous improvement in our processes. And I could see a couple of things that we might want to tighten up the next time we go through this. Perhaps having a section where people talk about their statement of qualifications to provide the services and who they're going to provide it to. And that might tighten up things as far as who applies and how that's going to be done. The other thing is we introduced a budget and a separate budget narrative concept, and that didn't come through in the proposals at all. So I think cleaning that up a little bit, maybe providing some examples. And I know, normally a process is to do a bidders conference, and this was so tiny, and staffing issues and things like that, that was just didn't happen this time. But if it in the future, if it becomes something that could be handled by staff, then I would suggest that maybe that be part of the process as well. It might clear things up for the candidates as to what's an appropriate, how to do it right and who's appropriate to apply. Those are my comments. But otherwise, as far as the outcome, I agree totally. Yeah.
All right. Director Smalley?
The evaluation process that the staff provided to us, I believe was thorough, clear, and easy to follow. It was obvious to me that there's a lot of thought that's been put into how we're doing this. So I appreciate that. As to the tightening anything up, I don't know. I wasn't part of the process that was putting this together and the amount of evaluation that it went into that. I did want to comment briefly on the bidders conference comment that you were offering, Cheryl. I don't know that a conference is necessary.
Maybe that's not the right term.
but
It's just a term that was a meeting.
Yeah. The opportunity for them to ask questions of staff, so the staff could avail themselves, make themselves available for that, I think would be
Absolutely.
rather than, to me, the conference would mean they have to come here, they have to, but.
Well, it should be a public thing. It seems to me it should be a public meeting where anybody could come and ask questions, whether they're a bidder or not.
Well, one thing that for a lot of the grants that we apply for
Yes.
is they have that sort of thing where they'll just have a Zoom meeting. They'll talk about basically what the grant is, who can apply, and how to
Mhm.
So
apply.
you could even do
And
it
then they
on
let
Zoom.
people ask
That
questions.
would
Exactly.
be easy. Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Easy.
Okay.
that's
That would
something
be
that we
easy.
could do.
Yeah.
It's just we would have to have kind of restarting the program. I don't think anyone knew that much that the program was going to happen. So if we have interest before we release the funding or like right after, then that would be good. We just would want to make sure people know and can show up so they can ask their
I
questions.
would say it doesn't necessarily have to be a public meeting, but it should definitely be something that, all can attend, open to all people who
Yeah.
are interested. Yeah.
Yeah.
That would work. Boulder Creek Elementary, the individuals that put that together knew how to respond to proposal requests. It was, here's what you asked for, here's our response. And it was a point by point, and it was easy to see how and to what item they were addressing. So, yeah. And it was, if a bidder or proposer is able to do that, then we put out a whatever it was, a 14-point plan or 14 points of topics. It was easy for them to go through and pull out each one of those and say, here's our response, here's our response. Right. The other submittal, it was difficult to, well, how did they answer this or where did they answer this? So, yeah. Okay.
Okay. And then Shelley, do you have any thoughts?
Yeah, I had all kinds of thoughts. I actually wanted to award, I felt Boulder Creek was much more organized, easy to read. That should be the template almost. I did feel, because I thought I read that the high school student was writing this, and I'm thought if this is part of his project, because I thought it said in there that this was part of the project, aquaponics, I was like, kudos to you if this is your project and you are the one writing and submitting it. But I felt that they needed to have some kind of guideline like the Boulder Creek. And so that's why I issued $500 because I thought their efforts, um, I just thought that I wanted to support somebody writing a grant for the first time. But that's what I read and came away with. But as far as outline, I think Boulder Creek, yeah. It also included more students, more grades, because now you're going to have a broader look at who's going to learn from this, how is it going to benefit. I would love to hear their presentation after the project, have them come in and kind of present.
Yep.
Yes, yes.
I think
Yeah,
that's be a given, Shelley, that we have feedback from the recipients once they get the grant started.
I just want to make sure that they know that they need to present and have a summation and maybe in person, because that's part of public speaking when you get a grant. You need to be able to stand by what you've done, how
Mhm.
you've done it, so if there's any follow-up questions, it can be done in a discussion format.
Okay. Yeah, I agree with you, Shelley. I went back and forth between giving aquaponics 500 as well. At first I was like, and then I was like, oh, a student wrote this? I was like,
Yes,
this is really good for a student.
exactly. I was like, I wanted to like acknowledge you wrote that. I was like, really kind of, because that doesn't happen in high school, that, to do grant writing. So I understood it. It was kind of not, it wasn't in an official format. So whoever at Boulder Creek, they hands down kudos. They did a fabulous job. But thank you, Alina. I was like, somebody recognized that high school student. I don't know.
Yeah, I think maybe this is something instead of just declining them, like reaching out and maybe giving them some suggestions on how to better it. Because I feel like so much was left out of the aquaponics and my brain was like filling it in because I know where the greenhouse is. I know
Okay.
that they have like a little farm stand that they do, and like I know a little bit about their program, but like none of that was really
Yeah.
included in the proposal, and so I guess that's why I went back to Boulder Creek because I can't really fill in, right? We're just looking at what was sent
What was on
to
paper.
us. Yeah.
Right. I felt also that I had to search in multiple paragraphs for, because I was looking at what was the statements, the evaluation form, where is it? And it was buried in there, but you had to keep toggling between paragraphs uh, and subsets of what they were describing to find it. So it needed to be a little more finessed, like the Boulder Creek. And again, a broader audience, but I liked the sound of their project. I think is really important. And a farm stand, and that's what they wrote, is that they do have these activities that help to support the aquaponics and what they're doing. I think it's incredible, but yeah,
Yeah.
but so
So, based on what Shelley and Alina are saying, I have a suggestion. I, Alina, as the committee chair, since the committee is the one that evaluated these, I think it'd be appropriate for you to contact the submitters for from the high school and just give them your or the committee's thoughts that you're hearing here on kudos for having a student be able to submit this. Here are suggestions if they were to do that in the future as to how they might improve.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Well, one of the concerns that I had about that particular proposal was because it was a student, and how was the student an appropriate fiduciary, responsible person to take the money, and how would they account for it, and how would that in any way, shape, or form involve the school? There were just so many questions that I had in my mind from that perspective, that we are stewards of these funds, and we need to make sure that these funds are being used appropriately by someone who has, again, when we go back to say, statement of qualification, someone who's qualified to provide the education, to evaluate the outcomes of, what are the educational outcomes of this, that sort of thing. And I had some concerns, not just, I agree that for a high school student doing this apparently on her own, that it was a pretty good proposal, but I think, again, having maybe clearer guidelines as to who's, an appropriate person to make one of these, submit a grant. If that was clearer, it might have been a better proposal, because she may have pulled in more resources from the school itself, and had a tighter proposal.
We're assuming that this was all student written.
Uh-huh. Well, she submitted it. Her address was the official.
Agreed. We're assuming that she wrote it, and that's what it appears.
That's what it looks like. And
also,
and all we can do is look at the paper.
but I think that that there should have been teacher more involvement.
I agree. Totally. It might
and
have
I think
changed
that-
it dramatically.
I think that that's an appropriate comment to reflect back to them.
Absolutely.
That more oversight.
And it seems like there's a lot of, like, we really like that the student is getting involved in writing this themselves. So I'm wondering if that's something maybe in the future that we could have, if one of their English classes, they want to have one of their assignments be to develop like these grant applications. I don't know, some type of like partnership where they can be more involved with this.
Do you mean something that the district might want to have written for our website?
Maybe something like that. Yeah.
Right. Maybe involve.
As long as there's, some supervision involved by the school.
But that is different than what we're talking.
Right.
Here. Yeah.
So I agree that some feedback would be great, because we don't want them to get soured on these grants. They should be, the high school should be an appropriate submitting partner, or community partner that should submit grant applications to us. But maybe just a little feedback would be very helpful for the next round.
Great.
Okay. Yeah, and I just kind of wanted to circle back to, we were talking a bit about tightening up this application process. And one thing that I really noticed is that maybe an option for pictures, because when we're talking about, the BCE proposal and they're talking about the area that they're replanning, I know exactly where that is. But you guys probably don't, and to kind of like see that would be helpful. And again, even with the aquaponics, like, this is our fish ponds, this is our greenhouse, like, it gives you kind of a bigger perspective of what's going on there. And then also, I did want to note that still in this proposal, it states to report back 30 days after a grant is awarded. But I thought we had asked that to be changed to 30 days after the grant is executed, because we wanted results. Just seeing results. So
And whatever agreement that gets signed, that'll be edited. And I believe that the intent of what that's saying was communicated, but we'll make sure to reinforce that.
Okay. I think that's I really like that kind of Zoom pre-meeting idea as well, because maybe the student could have watched that and or been a part of that and known some more. I think really with this student, the only thing I really saw missing was that educational part. Like it really wasn't brought back about how they were gonna bring that in, as where BCE was like, we're gonna buy books and we're gonna have a class and all of that. So
The pre and
and
post test.
huh?
And a pre and post test.
Oh, yeah.
BCE's proposal had that in it too.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. That was nice. So, anyways, I think the BCE just really nailed it with their proposal, and I really wanted to give some money to aquaponics as well, because of my, I'm a softie like that, but I figured we'd better fully fund one project and have one very successful project than trying to kind of split that pot and have them, someone not be fully funded. So. Well, do we have any further comments from the committee? All right, any comments from the public? Seeing none. I guess is this gonna go to the board next okay, so this is just our recommendation then.
Yes.
All right, and do we have a motion?
I can do that. The recommended motion is that the recommend to the committee that we recommend to the board of directors to award the 2025 watershed education grant at the level of $2,500 to Boulder Creek Elementary.
I'll second.
Okay, roll call vote. Alina Lang,
Yes.
Mark Smalley,
Yes.
Mark Dolson,
Yes.
and Cheryl Adams.
Yes.
All right, motion passes.
All right, now you're still here, Mr. Dolson, so you get to stay for the next item.
This is clearly my lucky day.
Yeah,
I can tell.
we got the Brown Act, and I don't know who's taking that one.
I'm gonna present that one for Leah.
Okay, there it is, Leah.
Can everybody see it okay?
It's not big enough.
Okay, so today we're just gonna go over the Brown Act, which is just, it's a practical plain language overview so that everyone's confident in following the Brown Act. The Brown Act is a California open meeting law, so it ensures that our work happens in public with public access. It applies to the board and to standing committees. We meet regularly with continuing subject matter jurisdiction. Next slide. Core principles. So deliberate in public. Deliberate in public. Discussions and recommendations occur in open session, not by email or text. You post clear agendas on time so that the public can prepare and participate, and invite public comment before action and allow community input as part of the process. Next slide. Are you on it?
Slide, then you're on.
I'm not following.
All right. Look at your computer.
We committee members serve in an advisory role. So we study, discuss, and recommend, and then the board makes the final decisions. We stay within the noticed agenda and support an orderly, respectful meeting. As far as the advisory role, we avoid serial meetings, which means no back and forth among the majority by email, text, or intermediaries, which would be like social media. Ask clarifying questions in public. If an item isn't on the agenda, you would ask staff to schedule it for a future meeting. Teleconferencing rules, there were some updates to this. Monthly committees or just cause remote participation is limited to 2 uses per calendar year. Which means you can only miss 2 meetings per calendar year. If it's excused in advance, that's something completely different. Use reliable audio or video, briefly announce the basis and disclose if any adults are present in the room. I think you guys have probably seen that on our board meetings before. Updated teleconferencing standards. The public must be able to attend at the notice location. Technology should not reduce the access. So technology is more of a convenience than anything else. Document remote participation in the minutes and pause to restore access if a disruption occurs. Social media compliance. There's a low threshold for violations online. You treat social media with extreme caution. We recommend that the public not try to communicate with each other on any social media platform or about district business on social platforms. Prohibited and permitted online behaviors. Do not like, comment on, react to, or share another member's posts about district business. You may post information publicly or answer public questions without interacting with fellow members. The operational guidance, strong governance, clear process, agenda is timely, public comment is supposed to be asked before action, and transparent discussion. Meetings, do's and don'ts, stay on the agenda, invite public comment before action, don't hold discussions or group chats that create deliberation outside of the meeting. Committee appreciation, acknowledge service, time, and our community benefits from your participation. And your insight improves transparency, it helps our staff, and then it helps inform the board on their decisions, and we thank you all for your commitment. So with that, I know you guys have had a chance to review. Is there any questions?
Actually, since I'm here, I do have a question. It hasn't come up for me before, but next month I will be in Michigan, so I'll be needing to attend remotely. I'm trying to determine whether I meet the qualifications for fully participating remotely.
If you give us the address that you're staying at.
Sorry?
If you give us the address that you're staying at,
Yeah.
you would qualify to attend
Okay.
remotely.
I mean, just because they have these restrictive reasons why you're absent, and I'm trying to.
There's two reasons to be attending remotely. One is just cause, which is what you're talking about, that you're out of town and so
Okay.
you can't attend in person. And the other one is reasonable accommodation, which is disability or illness.
Okay, thanks.
So I have a question about that. If you have an illness and that's considered a reasonable accommodation, why is it restricted to twice a year?
Illness is, in this case, is something that is debilitating, cancer or something like that.
Mhm.
It's not just, I have a cold.
No, I understand the whole cold thing,
Yeah.
you know. But it says members may participate remotely up to twice yearly.
That's unfortunately misinterpreted. You're allowed to you're allowed to remote visits, but you can be absent if you need to be. So if you're sick, it's better that you're absent than attend remotely, in all honesty. That's just the Brown Act, the way it's written, that you're allowed.
The
to
whole thing
remote.
is a technology being a convenience. I mean, the whole point of having these meetings, the technology is great, but we're supposed to be here in person. And,
Right.
And that's kind of why those regulations were set, because, you know, as soon as everything became remote, a lot of people just decided
Just
to.
wanted for convenience sake.
Right.
But if someone has a disability, and I'm thinking, you know, like immunocompromised people like myself, who, you know, in normal conditions, it's not a problem for me to come in and be present physically at a meeting. But if we go through another COVID thing, or there's some other measles or something else that's rampant throughout the community.
I would have to check with legal, but if you had immunocompromised, then it may be deemed that is a reasonable accommodation.
And if it's a reasonable accommodation, then the 2-session
That doesn't
rule
apply.
does not apply. Thank you. That was the clarification I needed. Hopefully, no one would ever have to ask for that, but it happens.
That does happen.
Yeah, and we need to, me coming from a disability, career with working with people with disabilities, I wanted to make sure that we were accommodating people who couldn't be physically present, but still could actively participate via technology if the need arise. And we need to know what those parameters are.
Right.
Okay, thank you.
All right. Yeah, I mean, it's happening right now for reasonable accommodations for me, so because I'm immunocompromised. So yeah, I'm not limited right now. Oh, thank you for those clarifying questions. Shelley, did you have any questions on this?
Not at the present moment. I was just curious because I have a possible fractured right toe that I'm going to get evaluated tomorrow. So that's why I'm trying to limit, because I drive with my right foot, right? Most of us do in this country. So I was trying to spare my foot. So I don't know, how do we go about? I guess we don't. Okay.
Well, if you knew you weren't gonna attend today, the best thing is to let Leah know in advance. We post the agenda at least 72 hours in advance, so we need to know prior to that if possible, so we can post that you're gonna be joining remotely.
Okay,
If we
so
post on the agenda that you're joining remotely, then you can participate as a member of the committee. But if you don't let us know, then you're just joining as a member of the public.
okay. So you're saying 72 hours. Okay.
At least, yeah.
Okay.
If you're sick, it's different.
Yeah, I mean, that happens. We get people that just can't show up, but the whole point is we want a quorum of at least 3 people here in this building for a meeting.
And,
Director Smalley, did you have something?
and I'm not clear, since Shelley has already told us that she has a medical issue, if she had let us know that ahead of time, and it's not posted on the agenda
No, if she had let us know ahead of time, we could have voted.
to say that, yes, she's eligible to vote if it's a medical issue.
Yeah.
Mhm.
It wasn't just a matter of convenience that I felt like just doing this from home today. Right. So, okay.
Yeah, so in the future, if someone is sick or has a medical issue, please let us know at the beginning of the meeting and we can all take a vote to allow you to fully participate. But hopefully, Shelley, you felt heard even though you didn't get a vote. I'm sorry, I have a doctor's phone call. Can I pass this off to you, Mark, to do board
Sure.
comment or close up this?
Go.
Mhm.
Yes. Okay. And as Jason was alluding to earlier, the district and the board wants to encourage participation, but we also want to encourage doing it in a healthy and respectful manner. If you're sick, don't show up here and get the rest of us potentially. If you have a medical issue but still want to participate, the district
Let us
can
know.
accommodate that and still have participation. So simply that. And I don't think that either the district nor board members are absolutely strict on 2 events. If it happened to be a third during a year, I'm not counting.
I don't know what you're talking about.
We
Yeah.
don't keep count.
This
But this is
is
just-
what's written in the
this is
statute.
what-
I understand this is what's written in the statute,
Yeah.
and I certainly can't advocate for going outside of the standard. But if it happened that somebody was out in February and March and November,
Well, then it might be helpful if it's an ongoing thing that that person, instead of saying I'm sick, saying I have an ongoing medical condition and I
Exactly.
require a reasonable accommodation.
Right.
And then we can get around the two
It's,
meeting restriction
and
that
that's,
way.
and that's what we've done,
Okay,
in past years also, at the board level.
sure.
Yeah.
I think it's important that people understand that there's a difference between getting sick and not being able to show up and having an ongoing medical condition requiring a reasonable accommodation.
Definitely different.
Big difference.
You know, and as with any statute or rule, somebody was taking advantage of it at some point. in
Of
time.
course,
So,
of course.
Yes, we have the rule, but. yeah.
Right. And I agree with, the whole idea of we should be meeting together in public. And that's a good thing as long as everybody's safe.
Yeah.
Could we go over the social media interaction piece as well? That was pretty quick. You went over that. So we're talking about Facebook and Twitter and
Instagram.
all of those things. So should we not be friends with people that are on the board? Should we not be friends with people that we're on committees with?
You can be friends, but if Mark makes a comment on a tweet somewhere and you then comment on his tweet, then it opens up the scenario of Mark or Alina or somebody else.
Yep.
Now we have 3 people making comments. It's now a serial meeting.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Okay, so don't comment on other people's social media
That's
posts.
the safest way to do it.
Okay. Okay, well, thank you for that clarification.
Best way to think of it is like it would be the same thing as you three in a meeting right now. You're together, you're in the same room, you're talking about public, business and the district.
But the public's not here.
Right.
If we're doing it on social media, that
But if you
is
guys
a
were to
public
meet
forum, but
outside of
it's
here,
not an
It's
official
the same
meeting.
thing, right?
Right.
You guys
Yeah.
would meet up at Johnny's. in the
Right,
Parking lot, you're
right.
having a conversation that could be misconstrued by the public as a stereo meeting. So you have to think of social media as kind of the same thing.
Mhm,
Although you're not in the same room, you are on the same platform.
mhm.
So it's welcome to social media. Yeah. It was bound to happen.
Of course.
Okay, I am back, and it looks like we lost Shelley.
Uh-oh.
It appears so.
Yes.
Okay.
No,
Did you-
I'm here.
Oh,
My flower pot is showing instead of my face.
okay, okay. Did you have any questions?
No,
Sorry.
I'm not a fan of social media per se, so I would not engage in that. But thank you, Cheryl, for opening up that question because that made me go, okay.
Okay, any other further comments from the committee on this?
Nope.
Right, see none. I have to ask it. Public comment. No one in the room. No one's online. I think the only thing left on the agenda is committee comment. So this is reserved for general comments from the committee and or for requesting future agenda items. Does anyone have anything? Mr. Dolson?
Just because it's already March, I'll ask, what plans staff might already have for presentations in upcoming meetings to this committee, like briefings, updates, status reports.
We will be having multiple policies coming to this committee. Cybersecurity, privacy, which are all both kind of pillars of the flex and the work from remotely policy. So all 3 of those policies are on the agenda to come forward.
Thank you for the heads up.
Good.
Good question, Mark.
Good. Yeah.
And if we want to suggest other ones,
By all means.
that would be good. Okay. Okay, I will.
All right, Director Smalley?
Yes, I do want to put a question out there for potential agenda item. When I applied to fill a vacant seat on the board, similar to yourself, Cheryl,
Mhm.
and Alina, there was no sort of expectations of that I could find anywhere of a board member. And I don't know if there's any expectations of committee member, other than I see in the application, committee member meeting once a month. I think it's kind of a low bar of expectation. And
That's the minimum.
well, but and it's triggered by, I heard some discussion of is somebody from the Budget and Finance Committee, there was kind of a conflict between two of the public members, and one of them couldn't meet here and the other one could. No, correct. Okay. And was I correct in the one couldn't meet during the day?
One couldn't meet until at least 4. The other one couldn't meet before no later than 3.
Okay.
Oh.
If there's an expectation from staff of committee members of the meetings are during the day and they are between this and this, we should have that as part of applications. Similar to applications to be on the board. And I don't know if the committee should be discussing that, because since there are 3 of us on the, 4 of us, because Mr. Dolson applied once also to be on board. So 4 of us on the committee that applied to, and without any, the minimums that I think board members, board meetings twice a month, evenings, generally from 5:30 to something like that, to be incorporated in with the initial application for those roles.
I think that's a reasonable expectation. If they're standing meeting times
We
and
don't
places.
spell it out.
Interesting.
We don't spell it out anywhere that I could find.
Mhm.
And board members are generally expected to be on 2 committees.
Mhm.
Committees are held during the day.
Mhm.
And anything else that we're expecting.
Bring that language over.
That's why I asked you to do.
Well,
And-
the committee, the problem is that I see with that is that the committees are a little more loose as far as when they can meet during the day, obviously, but it's not a set date and time for every committee until it's set up at the
Right,
beginning of the
and I'm
year.
not saying that we set that,
Mhm.
but if the expectation is
There should be a
meetings
window.
during the day
Mhm. Yeah.
rather than the evening, then we should make
This
that.
is the first time that I've encountered this issue, but I'm sure they probably encountered it before. So we were gonna add that to the application.
And when I applied to be on the board, there were 5 individuals at that time, that evening. And I can remember the comment from one of the individuals, "Oh, I had no idea what this was about. I just decided I would apply and find out." That's not the time to be potentially seated as a board member, to find, to then say, "Oh, this is what you need me to do? I don't want to do that."
I remember that one, Mark.
Okay. But likewise, being selected to be on the board, it was a lot of, this is what else I need to be looking at. This is what else I need to be. If you're shaking your head to that, Cheryl, then yes, now I think it's different for a member of the public who is putting their name on the ballot because we should have something on the website, though, that describes these expectations of board members. Something. I don't think we have anything.
No. But we can.
I think we should.
And we can, well, if the committee wants to discuss it, we can put on the next agenda and,
It doesn't have to be soon.
well,
But-
I don't think it's gonna be that elaborate, so I think.
I don't know that it's going to be that elaborate either.
All right. Yeah, I think this would be a good thing to put on the on one of the upcoming agendas.
Okay.
All right. Any other further comments on this? Not seeing anything. Well, I just, again, Shelley wasn't on here when I said this. Just thank you so much for committing to another year of being on this admin committee. I really appreciate it. I apologize. I had to pop off there for a second. Kaiser is going on strike and it's just messing everything up. So I'm just juggling everything. Yeah. Oh yeah. I just got told surgery got bumped up like 2 days ahead. So I'm just like, But anyways, I appreciate you all for being here and have to ask one last time with public comment. See none. I think we can adjourn this meeting at 11:51 and get Mr. Dolson out of here on time.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Hey, thank you.
Bye, everybody.
Okay.